Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Hello, everyone. You are tuned to the MC Lars podcast. It is Monday, April 27th, 2020. This is episode 87. I wanted to give a shout out to my mom, DJ Kathy Nielsen. She had her birthday yesterday, and we celebrated over Zoom, and she's 40 now. So happy birthday, Mom. That's awesome. This week is part 2 of my interview with Canadian Juggalo nerdcore rapper MC Snax. Yeah, I never thought I'd say that sentence, but I did, because MC Snax is tight, and we talked so much that I thought it'd be cool to split the interview up into 2 segments. This week, the episode is brought to you by the following Patreon Larsons. Shout out to the new ones, Nick Oliver, Mick Brum, and Miguel Rojas. Shout out to the old ones, Stuart, you know who that is, 2-Button Hero, Andy Kaylor, and Jonathan. I love you all so much. You keep it going. I hope everyone's doing okay. It feels like they're starting to open things up. I don't know if it's too soon. I don't know what to believe. It's nuts. It's nuts. But I've been grateful for the internet, grateful for my ability to create content, grateful for y'all, the fans, most importantly, for allowing me to focus on my art and tell my stories. And I just feel listened to. I feel loved. I want to give a shout out to the Discord, which is, for those of you who haven't heard of the Discord, it's like it's a system. It's a chat room, really. It's like a private chat room that's really fun and really interactive. So if you go to mclars.com, click the Discord link, and just drop in and tell them that Lars said hi. And it's a little community we're building. But there's a lot of really cool people in there, active people. There's fan art. There's gaming talk. It's fun. So check out the Discord. I'm going to be plugging it every week, and maybe we can do conversations about the topics on the podcast. This week's MC Lars Patreon Larson of the week is from Sarah in Ohio, who talks about how she discovered me and how she's a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan. So we're kindred spirits. So Sarah, take it away, my friend.
So my husband and I actually discovered MC Lars via Schaefer the Dark Lord, who we discovered via MC Chris. I fell in love with the fact that he uses Edgar Allan Poe as topical matter for his music, and I have been obsessed with Poe since I was a little girl, and so I was really excited about that fact. My husband was kind of okay with him until he got to see him in concert with SPD, and then he was super impressed by his personality, his attitude, his music, and he's been a fan ever since. We recently started supporting him on Patreon, and we look forward to future music. Our favorite song from him is actually a joint venture with Schaefer the Dark Lord, and it would be The Friendalorians, because it's fantastic. Thanks, MC Lars. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you for your support. Thanks for joining the Patreon, and thank you for converting your husband. Thanks to Schaefer for connecting me with y'all so you could hear my music, and thanks to MC Chris for connecting Schaefer with y'all. We have a new song on Spotify. Mega Ran and I did Console Wars. Some of you may have heard it on a tour mixtape from a few years ago, but we remastered it, and it is on Spotify, so peep that. This week, I'm dropping the 100th Patreon song. It's on Ant-Man, and I'm really proud of it, but 100 songs, dude. So if you don't know, that's like 10 records of unreleased flavor on the Patreon, and then you get a link where you can download them all, but if you sign up. But anyway, let's get into it. This is my interview with MC Snax, a dude I really respect and admire, and I hope you all check out his music. So here we go. This is my interview, part 2 with MC Snax. Yeah, so Baptist church. So what's the ceremony like? Because I've never been to a Baptist service.
So it's amazing because like the hymns are so good, and they are like a lot of them are upbeat. It's mostly hymns, and then a sermon is the main part of the church service. They
don't have communion in Baptist church, right?
No, my church, and I think like even within Baptist, there's so many offshoots and different like little differences, but they do what's called the Lord's Supper. The first Sunday evening service of the month. And I've actually never seen it. Mm-hmm. I've gone to evening services. I've just haven't gone to one that they were doing the Lord's Supper. I don't really know what it looks like. I don't know if it's an actual meal or what, but they definitely don't have like the ritualistic communion.
So it's like an emulation of the Last Supper?
I guess so. Like I said, I shouldn't even, because I don't know if it's just bread and
wine. You got to go and you
not.
got to tell me.
Yeah, I should. I do.
That's the poetic, amazing thing to think about is him knowing what's going to happen.
I know.
Judas maybe selling him out, and maybe him like knowing Judas would, and hanging out with them and being like, "Look, this is remember me." And they're like, "Why? You're right here, dude." Oh, it's an incredible story.
It's heavy, dude, and it's palpable, and like those stories are real in a way that other stories aren't real.
Right.
And like you had said about like how, the relation of like Jesus knowing what Judas was going to do. And, C.S. Lewis talks about this actually, like God's foreknowledge of our actions, the effect that has on free will. And C.S. Lewis said, I don't know if he's the only person to say it, but in the Screw Tape Letters, actually, Screw Tape says something to the effect of, just because God knows we're gonna do something doesn't mean he's making us do it. Like that's
an interesting mental gymnastic.
It is.
So give me an example. I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Well, like if you were to think, and again, we don't know how God relates to time, and my goodness, we're getting into some heavy stuff. We're getting real, but like, let's say God, is omnipotent, and he would know your move before you make it.
I see. Yeah, I get where you're going.
So do you have free will?
And therefore, are certain people just going to hell no matter what?
Right. And then that's
predestination. That's
Calvinism.
Hey!
Yeah. Ugh.
And your last name.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
No.
That's right. And maybe that's why I don't like, because Calvinism, brother, I got to be honest with you. And again,
I'm not feeling you, John Calvin.
Yeah, I'm not, brother.
Get out of here. You're going to tell me that certain people are just damned?
Right.
No.
And like God can just save whoever he wants by irresistible grace. Like, and you don't have a say in the matter. But they're taking the faith alone, and not because of our works, super literally, because going back to it being faith alone, what determines, like their argument, I'm not a Calvinist, I don't agree with what they're saying, but their argument for what they're saying is, if it is a gift that we received, why are some people receiving it and others? Is it because of personal merit, like they're wise enough, or they have a moral character enough to recognize that Jesus is who he says he is? In that situation, they're arguing there is credit to that person, and I think they would say that contradicts parts of Scripture that say we have no part in earning our salvation. So they're like, okay, well then God puts irresistible grace. You don't have any say in the matter. If he wants you to accept the gift, you will accept it. But then it's like, oh my gosh, this is too much.
Well, it's like free will. What's that, right?
I know.
That's the question. So here's a question for you.
Sure.
MC Snax.
MC Snax.
Cygnus 24X93.
Whoa, what's
those
that?
Aliens up in space.
Okay, yeah.
They have a different Messiah? Or will Jesus come to them one day? Like, because I do believe that this universe is huge, and I don't believe we're the only things around.
I'm open to aliens, yeah, for sure.
And so that's a question.
That's a great question. Would they need salvation in the same way we did? I think C.S. Lewis talks about that, doesn't he?
Oh, sure.
I don't know, not in that book, but he's talking about like kind of like Chronicles of Narnia being almost like him imagining if another kind of reality would need a savior.
Multiverse.
Right, yeah. So that's a great question, brother.
What's your favorite in the Narnia series?
I haven't read it. I hate to admit this, but I have to. I haven't read any of the books.
So how'd you do such an ill verse as Aslan?
I watched the movie. Remember? And I asked you, I was like, I would have read the book if you wanted me to for accuracy, but I did read about the books, and it seemed to be like the movie seems to be pretty close to the book. So
yeah, movies are great, and people clown on Prince Caspian, but Prince Caspian's great. People clown on that movie, especially my friend Mike Russo. I love you to death, Mike Russo.
Shout out Mike Russo.
I think you're a genius, but
I
thought the movie was ill. Hey, he did.
All right, cool.
Yeah, people when he advances shows and people know that song.
Nice.
They, my favorite is the horse and his boy. But we won't. I don't want to spoil it for you, and I don't want to.
I know. I do want to read the books, man, because C.S. Lewis is so awesome. And
I'm gonna read the Screw Tape Letters.
Yeah, dude, you got to. It will. I think it'll blow your mind.
I'm excited to talk to you about it.
Yes.
We're rebooting Hatchet Chat, and you're helping me as a researcher, and you did help me with the script of the Terror Wheel.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
You did a great job, so that's going to come back.
Brother. It was an honor.
And I'm excited to work on that. What's your favorite Joker's card? Is it the Wraith?
It is the Wraith, man. And it's funny because we were saying like people come in at like a certain Joker's card era, and a lot of times that whatever Joker's card was out when they first discovered ICP will be their favorite one.
Sure, fair enough.
And I think I was lucky. Well, in one sense, I wish I had seen all the first 6 come out as they came out. But in a sense, I also think I'm lucky because not only did I get that first Joker's card nostalgia with the Wraith, but it happened to be a super exciting time in that world.
Sure.
So I would say the Wraith. How about you?
Malenko, and that's just because the guests, and it's actually my favorite album of all time. It's come up quite a bit on this podcast.
I don't know if I've ever heard you say that straight up. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Great Movie is your favorite album of all time?
Of all time. Production,
amazing.
The stories, the skits, it's funny, the guests, the Boogie Woogie Woo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dead Body Man is probably my favorite ICP song.
Mm-hmm.
But Malenko, Under the Moon, man, what a song!
It's so good.
So dark,
House of Illusions,
so ill.
House of Horrors.
It's ill. I don't like the Ned and Game. I think that's not funny, and I think it's like shows them at their worst. But people love that song.
People do, and like that's the song
It's
from
dumb.
my experience. A lot of like non-juggalos will like because of like the
it's
comedic.
funny.
Yeah, exactly.
They call them stretch nuts or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever, so I talked to Aubrey from the Double Clicks today, who've been on this tour with us. Aubrey,
Shout out Aubrey and the Double Click. Shout out Laser.
Shout out to Double Clicks, amazing group. Get up on the Double Clicks train if you're not. They are open-minded and wonderful. Aubrey went to school for production.
Oh,
and
cool.
She was saying how one of her professors, they had the 5.1 surround sound.
Yeah.
And the Wraith was released on that.
Yeah,
Have you
like
ever
the
heard it?
DVD audio or whatever it is.
Have you ever listened to that?
I haven't. No. I've seen it on eBay a couple times. I almost bought it. I never pulled the trigger.
I want to cop that and listen.
Have you ever heard it?
No, but Aubrey was saying how the professor who helped engineer it and mix that played it as an example, a song from that.
Cool.
So she was talking about 5.1. I said, the Wraith, and she was dropping mad knowledge about it. And apparently it's cool with all like because that's such a cinematic record. The Wraith
100%.
is also weird because it's like short songs and weird. Was it Mom always said when it rains, dead bodies?
I know, dude.
Da-de-dee-da-de-dee-da. And then crossing the bridge or thy bridge or whatever. Like that's beautiful.
There's some potent things on there, man.
It's a very visceral, beautiful record.
It is.
So he says in that song, "What if it was a child's mistake?" And I think he's talking to absolve himself from the sin of the butterfly. And I think that is a cool story.
Oh man, like when you're saying like him saying like, "What if it was a child's mistake?"
Yeah,
could be a reference to him like making the mistake. Him and Rob making the mistake with the butterfly.
Yeah, I totally think that's what that's about.
Dude, I didn't even put that. That
what did you think
makes
it was
a
about?
lot of sense. I thought it was more general. I'm not opinionated on it, but I thought like just when I thought about that lyric, I thought it more general. But that's a pretty interesting take on it.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So that's a huge. I can't overstate enough. Huge part of the dark, almost Narnia, dark carnival lore. The butterfly.
Yeah.
Because every record's dedicated to the butterfly. Talk about salvation and mistakes and innocence and sin.
Yes,
so
sir.
Let's talk about this story. Well, I think it's cool. We both appreciate the story and we can bring to light how huge it was on Jay and his brother Jump Steady. Shout out Jump Steady.
Absolutely. Shout out Jump Steady.
So you start and I'll fill in anything.
With the butterfly?
Yeah, and we'll just tell this story. It's a great story.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first time I heard about it was actually in the booklet of the Wraith Shangri-La.
Oh, so it's in there?
It's in there, yeah, absolutely. Before, I think it was in Behind the Paint. And so basically, Violent J and his older brother, Rob, a.k.a. Jump Steady, when they were young kids, they found this big, beautiful butterfly when they were outside because they used to always like take bugs and keep them in like, a shoebox for a bit, just like collect bugs and look at them, I guess. And they found this big, really big butterfly that was super beautiful.
Yeah.
And they wanted to, I guess, kind of hang out with it for a bit. And they wanted to have it as like their guest with them. They put it in like I don't know, I think they said a jar. and poked a bunch of extra holes in it.
And how they describe it is so dope. Like it almost like had veins and fur.
Yes,
like a giant cat almost.
Absolutely.
This huge butterfly.
Yeah, and will you take over and say what happens when they bring it in?
Okay, so they have this big, beautiful butterfly in this jar, and they're just like, we're just going to let it spend the night and have this beautiful gift with us, and we'll release it in the morning, and that we just want to hang with it because it's so beautiful, and we'll let it go in the morning. Okay, back to you, Snax.
Yeah, so they talk about how when they were going to sleep, or Violent J talks about, and I don't know what details are in which when it comes to the Wraith booklet and the telling in the behind the paint book, but he says in one of them that they hear it like all night when they're going to sleep, like it's wings in the jar, and then they're horrified when they wake up because there isn't any more sound. They had a fan apparently pointed at the jar to kind of keep it cool and comfortable.
Right.
And the butterfly unfortunately wasn't making any noise, and they woke up and they found out it was dead. So one of probably the most, like Lars said, spiritual things about like ICP in general is that they felt so bad that about killing this butterfly because they wanted to hang out with it, and then it ended up dying in the jar, that they vowed to stay on the right track so they can get to heaven to meet it and apologize to the butterfly. And Violent J, it's funny, I did actually listen to this part in the audiobook. He says that if there was a policy in heaven that insects weren't allowed, they vowed to request that policy be changed on the butterfly's behalf.
And then let it come back.
That's right.
Oh, for future insects.
Yeah, that's right. And maybe, I guess, for the butterfly's benefit too.
Yeah, that's a really cool. So it's like feeling like, this is what's dope to me about this story. Realizing that the loss of innocence, that you do something innocuous, that you feel like it's just you're beautifully bonding with nature, but that mankind is fallible, and this beautiful thing had its life taken away. And that's the thing we were talking about tonight at this show that Isham said to him about time, right? That, yeah, you always drop that.
Oh no,
gem.
man, you go ahead. You're doing good.
Okay, that most horrible, sinful thing you can do to someone, to a person, is take away their time. So if you lock someone in jail for 30 years, you get 30 years of their life. Or if you kill someone, that's like sinful because you take away their time. That's the most horrific thing you can do to someone. And they have a lot of stuff, imagery about time, and especially in the first Joker's cards, because it's like about how time ultimately brings judgment, and time is finite. And I don't know, is there any of the, I'm trying to think, any of the characters have clock imagery? I'm trying to think about that.
I don't think so. I know, like, remember this
Riddle box with the time of the crank. Eventually, the box will pop.
Yeah, that's right.
Marvelous Missing Link.
Well, yeah, and Missing Link Found, the last song is just straight up called Time.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and that song is very specifically about that. Like, you know, you're just kind of always on this clock.
Yeah,
it's ticking away.
I love the Missing Link Found. Their verses on there are some of their best verses.
It's an amazing album, man. I love it.
And Jay talks about, I think Shaggy talks about, this is the gift. I've been given this gift to reach people, and I'm never going to take that for granted. And that's some real flavor, dog.
Absolutely, dude. And I believe in my heart that they believe that, dude. And like, I think that some of the stuff that might have been considered a little reckless in their lyrics, like, I feel like in a lot of ways they're a bit more cognizant of that, and they talk about how some of their more lighter like stuff or kind of, I don't want to say softer, but like cleaner stuff might seem corny or lame to like a younger juggalo, but when they're older and have kids, because you know they're family men now, you know, so they probably want like the juggalos to, like, I think there was always good morality in their music, but it does seem like it's been kind of emphasized.
Sure, especially on the second deck.
That's right.
And the second deck has less, I don't know, brutal, sexist songs.
Yeah.
I like the Rebel Flag on, I forget which record on the second one, the Confederate flag song. Is that on?
That's on Lost.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Oh man, it's
so relevant.
It has
the anti-racist vibe.
That's right.
That stuff's so cool and about. I remember when we met Jay I mean, whatever. I could talk about it all day. We were talking to them, and Meg Ryan was talking about the book and asking questions. It was dope. And this dude on a wheelchair came on a golf cart. This dude without legs driving a golf cart. This black dude, and Jay runs over and hugs him and like, yo, like, I don't know. You could tell that those guys are like hip hop is about breaking down barriers, and I thought that was tight. Like this person who was working and driving around, Jay made a point to go over because he was working on it. He didn't have legs on the golf cart. And I just feel like that ICP, to be perfectly real, helped me understand hip hop more, and we're a gateway to all other stuff. Like especially, I mean, they reference so much Run DMC and they love hip hop, and that made me want to get into old school rap. And I wouldn't love hip hop a fraction as much as I do if it weren't for ICP and the Juggalo movement.
That's amazing, dude.
So that's what's up.
Same thing.
That's what's up.
ICP. There's something else. Woo woo.
MC Snax. So, what's your newest project?
Newest project. I have the title, but I am not going to reveal it yet.
That's fine.
But I am working on something, and it's going very smoothly. There's a new album. In the works, and I'm
release date or not?
No. Definitely, like I would say June at the latest.
June coming up. You did a song with psychopathic recording artist Anybody Killer.
Yes, I did.
Called Medicine Man. No.
That's our song.
That's our song. No.
Yeah.
The one with him is Scrub Till You Shine.
Yes, sir.
And his album's Medicine Bag.
Yeah,
that's how I got
right.
conflated. So you worked with, that's tight. So you're 1 degree away from psychopathic.
Well, yeah, like when you look at it that way, I guess. So that was an honor to get, to work with him. He did great. He killed it, man. To hear him rapping over one of my beats. That's one of my favorite things about doing a collab.
You made that beat?
Yeah.
Woo!
I made I think every beat, I'm trying to think, every beat besides one on my projects.
You're a really good producer, man. I did not know you did those beats.
Yeah. FL Studio,
Snax.
baby.
Maybe I knew that, but they're great beats.
Oh, thanks.
What's your musical training?
YouTube tutorials.
Dang. But musical theory and stuff, you just
don't know any of it. I know what the letters on the keys are.
And you know what's in key and what's not, or
I know what sounds good,
right,
to me, but I don't know if it's technically in key or not.
Then you save money not having to pay people for production.
Yeah, well, and that's my favorite thing to do. I honestly would I think I have the mind of a producer more than I do a rapper. Like the beats, that's my favorite thing to do is write the music. And,
yeah. You have a very low sonorous voice, like Charlie Tuna. Or,
oh man,
it's kind of, you're blessed with this bassy low voice, baritone.
Blessing and a curse sometimes, because recording it, rapping can be hard, especially over certain beats. High energy and just sound clear in the mix, especially when it's not so bad now when I'm like at a talking volume, but like when I'm like rapping, recording rap, I'm like louder. But your voice, now I did mix it for Medicine Man.
Yeah,
kind of. You didn't send me just totally raw, but your voice is fun to mix.
Thanks. I have a lot of mid range.
Yes, it's amazing.
And my natural thing is E flat minor. It's kind of my range.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm a tenor. I'm also a baritone. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like. Yeah, that's why a lot of my beats, the rock stuff works well with my stuff, and low end and high end, it kind of carves that well. What did you notice? Did you have to change much?
No, I noticed that it was fun to mix and it cut through because it's just interesting about your voice because it isn't like, I wouldn't consider it a booming voice, but it does have power behind it. And also, I was going to say to you, I think I might have said this in Denver.
Nice, MC Snax.
Oh man, it's true. And like you, I think live more than any rapper I've heard sound like the recording.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I can't think of anybody that sounds closer.
Cool. That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's
just
really
the tone of voice. Like it doesn't sound like you're like trying to like you're yelling louder because it's live, but it doesn't sound like it's just
I did choir. I do vocal warm ups. But playing in a punk band, man, in my parents' garage, just having to shout in a way. That's why I love Run DMC and KRS-One, like those old school MCs. Like they're just loud because they had crummy equipment and they had to be heard over it.
Right. Yeah.
And it's different with a band versus with tracks. And playing guitar is really fun because I love that. Man, that's one of my favorite. This tour's been fun playing guitar because it's like you have this new element to compete with.
Mm-hmm.
But when I felt like the sound guy tonight was great.
Oh man,
You sounded good, dude.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I've never seen you live.
Oh man.
So what do you think? What song went down the best, you think?
I think
You got a great reaction.
Oh man, thank you, dude. It was a very humbling night for sure. Just so amazing. I'm honored.
You made a lot of new fans.
Yeah, it seems that way, man. I wish I was a Ninja Turtle always goes over well because it's got like an easy hook. You hear it once, you can pretty much sing it. And for the live version, I sample the Follow the Foot Clan of the Game Boy soundtrack.
So let's hear this. You can take out the swearing, but let's hear the hook.
I
wish I was a Ninja Turtle.
I wish I was a Ninja Turtle. I wish I was a Ninja Turtle. That'd be really sweet. Here we go.
Wait, and the live you say effing sweet?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's funny.
Depending on the setting.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Wait, you say that would be effing sweet. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's Turtle
right.
Power.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
That's what's up. Do you love Ninja Turtles?
I do.
Did we not do a Ninja Turtle? We were talking about it.
I think so. Yeah, we didn't actually do one.
Shredder song.
But that'd be sick. Ninja
Turtles
for
have
life.
always been rebooted.
100%. They're like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, they are.
They just keep living on.
Yeah, it's the. Have you ever see that when ICP's theater when they're watching the Snoop Dogg video and they're like, he's always in high school. He never gets old. And
I know.
And then they say Pitbull that he always feels like he's about to be great, but he never is.
I don't think I remember that about Pitbull.
ICP theater is the bomb.
Word. Oh man, it is. It's so funny.
Anyway, so let's talk about Turtles. Ace
Yeah.
Duck. What do you know about Ace Duck?
Ace. I feel like you got a Patreon song.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're on my Patreon.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Snax. Yeah.
But I don't know much off the top.
Ace Duck I loved. It was one of my first figures, one of the first turtles I liked because I love Donald Duck.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a Air Force captain and he flies the turtle blimp.
Cool.
But other than that, like with the retcon of it, right? Like the recontextualization of it, there's been a whole universe that he's a tournament fighter kidnapped on a planet to fight other aliens and the turtles have to save him.
Really?
Yeah, that's like a future version of Ace Duck. But what I like is that there are all these characters that have these weird stories.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite super random turtle character?
Oh, super random turtle character.
That fools might not be up on.
Well, that's the thing. I might seem like a Ninja Turtle poser here because I don't know if I'm going to be able to school anybody with an obscure one. Honestly.
There's no such thing as a Ninja Turtle poser.
Yeah, I mean, I always like Baxter Stockman. He's not obscure whatsoever.
He's in the arcade game Turtles in Time.
That's right.
The second level.
I think the second level he swoops down
Yeah.
and like.
We were playing it last night.
Yeah, but Baxter Stockman I think is the coolest villain in my opinion, besides maybe the Shredder. But I don't think I have an obscure one for you, Lars.
That's okay. Did you have the toys?
Yes. Well, so the thing is, my brother had the toys because I was
How's your
just
bro?
on the tail end. He's 3 years older than me.
Okay.
So he was in that sweet spot. I was in the tail end. So I had like his hand-me-down toys, and the toys are actually what I had like a bigger connection with than the cartoon. Because I think the cartoon, by the time I was old enough to like the Ninja Turtles, the cartoon was kind of on its way out. But then I got into the games and stuff like
And
that.
then 2007 was the CGI reboot.
Yeah.
And you would have been then what, 16?
16. And there was also that one in the early 2000s, like the new cartoon.
Right.
Like they're all
CGI.
white. Well, I think there was.
Or was that animated?
I think there might have been a cartoon reboot in 2003. I could be wrong. And I watched that and stuff. But
did you ever watch the first movie, the Jim Henson one?
yeah, oh man, absolutely.
That was great.
It's so good.
That was great. And Vanilla Ice, Turtles 2.
Yeah, Secret of the Ooze.
That's what's up. Did
Yeah.
you watch Out of the Shadows?
No, what's that?
Out of the Shadows was the second one to the Michael Bay reboot. So remember in 2013 or something, TMNT came out?
Oh, I think I did. Yeah, they're CGI, right? And they look like kind of realistic.
Yeah, they did one, then they did the second one.
I think I did see both of those. Yeah.
Yeah, those were great.
You're like, I don't remember much about them.
Yeah, it was just exciting. You know?
Yeah.
It's okay to love turtles.
Dude, it's just good fun. And that's kind of what, like, and again, I'm a bit more into like the deeper religious stuff these days. But when I was like first starting out with MC Snax, I wanted it to be like if the Ninja Turtles cartoon, like that, just fun, positive, like energy, just like good versus evil, and just pizza. Like that's what I wanted MC Snax to be.
Yeah.
But
You have the album on. It's like a pizza character.
wait a minute. Oh yes, yeah, Incredibly Human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a pizza man. Mm-hmm. Is that supposed to be you?
Shout out Chelsea. She's just done a lot of my albums. No, I just had that idea for an album cover, and she whipped it up because she's super talented, and it came out pretty cool.
That's what's up.
It's unique. I think it catches your eye.
Yeah, that's tight.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a new record coming out in June.
Yeah, should be the latest possible date.
That's what's up. Do you have any shows?
I do to be announced.
That's what's up. Where can the MC Lars podcast audience follow you on social media?
So Instagram.com/MC Snax, Facebook.com/MC Snax, YouTube.com/MC Snax. I think all of them are just /MC Snax. The major, if you do any major social media, you do /MC Snax.
SNAX.
That's right. Snax with an X. You should find me. If you Google me, you'll find me. Oh, my Bandcamp is the best place. If anybody out there uses Bandcamp,
Send that cheddar.
yeah. It's also for free. In fact, I don't even know if I go back and forth to like not even allowing people to pay. So
Let
it's
them,
like free.
you should change that for this.
I know,
You get
brother.
Some new audience.
Oh yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I will do that.
Pay what
so
you want.
yeah, that's right.
Throw
Name
our
your
boys
price.
some money, and like our song is tight on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredibly Human. Medicine Man on Incredibly Human.
Snacks.
Yo.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Your videos are dope.
Oh,
Who makes your
thanks, man.
videos?
So I've done a couple of them. My buddy Ryan Francis, shout out Ryan, has done a couple of them. And my buddy Mike Sims, shout out Mike Sims, has done a couple of them. I would probably say the most technically proficient ones are done by my buddy Mike. He did Snack Hard, Snack Often.
Yeah,
I
snack
think
hard,
that's
snack
your favorite.
often. That video's tight.
Thanks, buddy.
I mean, they're all tight.
Oh, man, that means a lot.
I feel like we'll be making more jams.
Man, I can't wait. We got to do... Actually, I got an idea. Well,
Share it. Let's pitch it to me right
It's
now.
for the new album. I got the beat. I haven't told you the collab idea.
Let's go.
I can't do it right now.
All right, fair
It's
enough.
a secret. Now that I'm
Off-
acting like
off
it's
mic.
like there's thousands of people. That's going to be a leak. I'm like,
Are you telling me off mic?
I'll tell you off mic. Absolutely.
That's what's up. Well, MC Snax, thanks for doing the show. Thanks for doing the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, MC Lars. You're an amazing friend, an amazing guy, amazing musician, and it's a blessing to know you, brother.
Same.
Shout out to all the people listening to the MC Lars podcast.
Amen. Whoop, whoop. Shangri-La. All right, here we go. Oh, let's hear the Narnia. This is our Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe song. Mm-hmm. That's what's up. MC Snax, thanks, bro.
See you guys.
It's the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Ooh. It's the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Ooh.
Had a Turkish delight, it was tight, alright. Set my tongue on fire, couldn't put up a fight. In fact, I'd sell my siblings out for a taste so delectable. Lured by the white witch with bait so incredible. Consumed by my hunger, Edmund the liar betrayed our blood, thrown into the fire. Tears on my cheeks till I saw him on the table, sacrificing everything for me. He was able in
The
the...
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Ooh. It's the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Ooh.
Then as the snow melted, Aslan appeared, flanked by my siblings, safety was near. Rescued by a lion who debated with the queen. He climbed up on the table, was this a bad dream? The great lion, the king of the beasts, dragged, mocked and ridiculed, hung from the tree. Beaten, tormented, shaved and killed, we stayed by his body on the dark silent hill. But in the morning, what was this? Our friend had disappeared like a ghost in the mist. Cheated death somehow, the feline Holy Spirit, the demon that had haunted me, I no longer feared it. Freed all the prisoners, once turned to stone. Peter led the army and we finally went home. Up in the clouds, always there for you and me. Never lying, that's the lion who so gladly set me free.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Ooh. It's the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Lion, the
as a king, I return for a time, I will reign. Who knew the Lord of Narnia had a tail and mane? I'm not in it for the fame, it doesn't bring me any pleasure. I'm here to serve you and to give my mercy without measure. Edmund, how he stumbled, wandered from the path. He tried to serve the witch and she rewarded him with wrath. But I took his Misty with me to the table in his stead. I was shaved and beaten, slain so he can live, I paid his debt. I do it all again, the total sacrifice. Even if the magic written wouldn't bring me back to life. Narnia's in need, on a tattered thread it hung, as I killed the witch and breathed the life back into its lungs. I love you all so much, and not just cause of prophecy. You might not always see me near, but that's the way it's gotta be. I know you won't understand everything I do, just know that if I do it all for you.
The lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. The lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. The lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. Ooh. It's the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. The lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. The lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. Ooh.
That was Aslan's Secret, which was released on Patreon a few years ago. And I did an EP of all the books of the Chronicles of Narnia. I did raps about each of them. And I'm really proud with how that turned out. Snax, you're the man. Thanks for being on the podcast. Not once, but twice. And for bringing your positivity. Next week, guess what? I interview my wife, Ash Wednesday. We're locked in quarantine together. She is in a group called Handjob Academy, a rap group. And she gets into that. So Google Handjob Academy. Well, maybe don't. No, do. Go on YouTube, look them up because they have some really funny, amazing videos. And I interviewed all three of them, Ashley, Max, and Claire. And so I'm doing a series. It's going to be each one of them, their perspective on the band and what they're doing now. And yeah, it's kind of dope. So check that out. And thank you all for listening. Please jump on the Discord. And if you want a free t-shirt, join the Patreon. You get a phone number you can call in. And if you call in and tell a story about how you first discovered me or a show or something, I'll send you a free t-shirt and I'll cover the shipping. So check that out. All right. Sending love to all y'all. Thanks again for your support. Have a good week. Bye.